go to the YouTube channel, we actually have episodes where that occurred. Strasserism is actually quite an interesting... I don't support it. I'm not a Nazi, for God's sake. But it is an interesting economic proposal. It's not... for instance... a lot of people like to pretend National Socialism, because socialism is in the name, is somehow economically left-wing, and it's not in the slightest. The CEOs never got higher pay than under a fascist government, essentially, especially under Nazi Germany's government. CEOs would get ridiculously high pays. And the thing with this particular government, if it's economically led by Otto Strasser, Strasser was a bit more of a collectivist than Hitler was. So a little bit more of left politics intermingled there. And perhaps, collectivism, and we already actually have that. I'll show you. Let me find it. So we have state-owned collectives. We've got autonomous workers' collectives we could even research. Incredible. We could also dismantle the collectivist organization. In fact, we could probably start doing some anti-collectivist propaganda right now, although this is really going to upset the Soviets, and I'm not sure we want to do that yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go to the Volksdeutsche Jugend, and this will, of course, create basically the Hitler Youth. But in this case, it would be the Dressler Youth. Dressler sounds like a pretty, not a very scary name, I must say. Okay, United States. Yeah, we got to get some oil. We know they have it. The fate of Poland. So, we could actually give Poland autonomy, guys. What do you think? No way. I'm not even going to ask you guys. We're annexing Poland. We have finally beaten the filthy Poles into dust. It is time to show them the true path to Valkism by placing them directly under our control and gain many of the resources that Poland bears. Yes. Boom. It is ours. We're not playing games here. This is interesting. We could actually release Poland and Zapadoslavia here under occupation administrations. I'm not sure if that's a good idea, and I think I would actually want to ask the YouTube audience as well as you guys. That's really complex, so I'm not touching that right now. But basically, we would install Valkist governments in all of those countries. They wouldn't just become our puppets; they would become Valkists, very similar to, for instance, this country right here, Lemkenland, and also former Slovakia, which is now called Slovakia. Joseph Tiso sounds an awful lot like Joseph Tito. Let's take a look. It's a possibility, but I think right now, yeah, annexation is the way to go. This is our Lebensraum, and I think we've taken enough land to be happy, to be satisfied, essentially. Although I'd still like Belarusia, I'd still like Ukraine. That would be pretty good on our smorgasbord, on our plate. Mighty Man is saying, it is the mod. It was named Volksdeutsche Jugend, German youth or something. Exactly. Lord Dragonhoff the Slaughterer. Welcome, Kubalak. It's funny to listen to that when I'm Polish, Scooby. How's it going, Kubalak? Polska. All right. Joseph Tiso was a priest. Interesting, Mighty Man. So that's one cool thing about this mod is you'll see a lot of historical figures that do exist that are in different positions. So, for instance, we actually had Kirov in charge of the Soviet Union. Anybody that knows anything about Soviet politics knows who Sergei Kirov was. He was probably one of the only guys in the Soviet Union that was like truly a good person. Like, he really wanted to help the people, and of course he was assassinated. And in this case, he was assassinated once again. Stalin never takes over. Kirov does, and then Kalinin replaces Kirov. So, really interesting turn of events, and it's just happening all over the place. Netherlands becoming a fascist state and kicking everybody away, all the monarchists away to Dutch Guyana. I mean, it's incredible. We've still got our buddy here, Bernhard of the Netherlands. He's a big help to us. Might also be a good idea, guys. Didn't even think of this until now, but to start building some bunkers here. I think that's like obvious. So let's. Even help the Lithuanians build some land forts. It's gonna take a long time, so let's just keep it at that for now. Is the United Kingdom still cucked? I guess you're asking, is the United Kingdom still left wing? And hey, Kubalak, thanks for joining us. Don't forget, guys, to check out our channel by clicking the Civil War picture there, and go and please subscribe to our YouTube as well. And thank you, Kubalak. It's actually not as polished as I'd like it to be, but I really appreciate it, man. I know some stuff, but believe it or not, most of the folks in this stream are really, really educated. Aramon is one of them, and you know, they can usually answer before I can. Why don't you play high speed? We could. I think with high speed, when you're doing multiplayer, it's not as good. You kind of want things to like kind of roll normally. So we'll take a look. I'll show you. The UK do have Edward VIII, yes. So the UK again, it's kind of weird to explain, but basically, let's put it this way. This is not an expansion of Kaiserreich. This is an alternative to Kaiserreich. So in Kaiserreich, you know, of course, Hitler dies on the Eastern Front. The UK becomes communist. France becomes communist. This is an alternative to that, which is really interesting. And I like it. You know, if you've ever been part of the FuhreReich or Kaiserreich community, you'll know that people are obsessed, and I mean obsessed with this. And by the way, if anybody wants to do any AARs of this mod and post it on the or of this Let's Play, which you can find on the YouTube channel, and post it on the Paradox forums with a link to my channel, I would greatly appreciate it. And you're free to use this for any kind of AAR you want. I suck at rating AARs, but if I was good at it, this particular mod would be perfect for it, because we've been through a lot of wars. We've convinced countries to join us under penalty of war as well, and it's just been interesting. We've assassinated numerous people. We actually assassinated our entire officer class, and we purged Hermann Göring. We had him shot. So it's just amazing what you can do in just this tiny mod. Of course, Kaiserreich is much bigger than even this, but you know, even what you can do here is pretty amazing. Let's see over here, the decisions. Civil crackdown's almost finished, but I think our stability's fine, 91%. We can Germanize Lithuania. Wow. But this would mean we annex it, and we don't want to do that. This is weird. We still have to decide the fate of Lithuania, but I thought we already did. So we could either Germanize them or give them autonomy. I'm not even going to decide yet. Those occupation administrations look quite interesting, though. Get some civilian factories. And in fact, I want to see if we can get an oil refinery. Sweden petitions to join the Stahlpakt. Whoa, guys. Look at the Kingdom of Sweden. Yes, we're going to let them in. Guys, the Swedish have joined us. This is epic. They are very powerful. And also, they're on the border with the Soviets. Actually, they're on the border with White Finland, which could also join us and probably will very soon. But that is so cool, man. To get Sweden to join us, that is a huge win for us. Look at that. Look at that. The Stahlpakt is coming together. Only Odin himself can stop us now. Or the Russians. They can also stop us. They can also stop us really fast. Trust me. Kubalak says the mod sounds so good, so fun. Yeah, well, not like Göring could have run anyway. If it wasn't for the weight, it's the morphine addiction that makes him unable to run. This is a good point. So actually, another weird thing, and I'll show you that in the ideology. You guys know about the Horst Wessel Lied, right? So as far as I understand, I could be wrong on this, Horst Wessel was a Nazi party member that was assassinated by a communist. I believe that's correct. So if somebody wants to correct me, please do. And in this game, he's actually one of our main generals. He's one of our main army commanders. So the choice is either to kill Göring or to kill Horst Wessel, and we chose Göring. I think he was more of a threat anyway. We also turn the TOST, which is the Valkist version of the SS, into a military organization instead of a security organization, which may or may not be such a good idea. I really don't know. At least they won't be spying on Dressler himself, and that gives him a bit more power. So there we go. We got the Volksdeutsche Jugend. And we do want to start focusing on the anti-collectivist propaganda pretty soon. But let's see this. This will increase our popularity by 10%, and I figure why not? We're at 71% and growing, but I want that to be at 100%. Could also just outright ban every single political party, but I'm not going to do that. Issue a military factory commission. All right. Let's go ahead and add another artillery factory. We have a few more things we could actually add here. There's so many factories in this country right now working on just a number of different things, trying to get the perfect mix for the Weltreich. All right, for our industrial company, Krupp, IG Farben. I mean, all of these companies exist today. That's the frightening thing. Braun, and they thrived under Nazi Germany's leadership. They thrived. So put that in your pipe and smoke it when people think that National Socialist means socialist. It's not fucking socialist. Yeah, let's go for Krupp, definitely. I want those military factories up. I want those civilian factories up producing goods for the people so that they remain calm. I don't want to worry about anything right now. Heck, we'll even get some infrastructure built. Just randomly, we just popped it in the center of the country. Oh, it is cold in Germany. It's a cold winter. Anglo-French diplomatic standoff. In recent days, a growing diplomatic spat between the British and French government has been continuing over a native revolt against British rule in East Africa. Initially, the French government issued a formal condemnation of the British government in its efforts to quell the revolt. In response, the British government has recently issued a formal diplomatic protest over perceived French meddling in their affairs. It is unknown at this time how long the revolt will last, but this is simply another sign of poor relations between the two former allies. Wow. That's good for us. We don't want them getting along. In fact, it would be an absolute amazing thing if we managed to get them to declare war on one another. Yeah, I would play it, but I don't even know if we get a copyright strike or if it would even be appropriate. We finally become affiliates on Twitch. Let's not ruin it, right, guys? But it's a good song, and of course I hate the Nazi Party's politics, but it is a very nice song. I mean, the fascists make good music. That's one thing they know how to do, is make good music. Let's not lie. Select technology here. Dive bombing, yes. And good soldiers, yes. Yes, good soldiers. That, of course, especially in Germany, that comes from even the Prussian military culture. That's just, sort of in their blood. Man, it's a cold winter. Look at this, man. Like, it's just snowing everywhere in Germany, except for Frankfurt and Munich. We also have to watch out for the Italians. We know that in every war we've had against Zapadoslavia, against Poland, they have sent expeditionary forces. So these guys are not exactly being very friendly with us. Now, with the French, we've been trying to improve relations, but it's not easy. And quite frankly, I think eventually we will have to go to war with them. So interesting here, we've got a country called Cruzub, and we've got the Mexican state. We'll go take a look at that situation. It's always fun to jump around in this game. And of course, you can always save, leave the game and join in as one of these. So as you can see, you see the 0.1 here because they don't even have a picture for this guy. But it's Salvador Abascal, the National Populists. against Kruzub. Interesting. Led by the Valkis. What? What, guys? I didn't realize this, but the Valkist revolution has been exported to Central America. This is incredible. So we do have Valkists in control in Central America. Let's see what other South American countries, at least, are in support of the Valkists. We're just going to jump around. Colombia, no. Collectivists, Union of Colombia, no. Argentina, no. That's so cool, though. That is really, really cool. Oh, Chile, the Estado Chileno. So Chile is in support of the Valkists. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like we can invite them to the faction. Yeah, they have a negative opinion on us despite sharing the same party. I think they're really looking for Valkist power here in South America for themselves. Jorge Gonzalez von Mares. Doesn't seem like a very nice guy. All right, let's move up here. Back to FuhreReich. Okay. Looking pretty good here. Let's take a look. We also want to probably take out Denmark here. Absolutely. We can name another army. So we've got the Teutonic Order name so far. We've got the Loki's Eternal Guards. So who wants to name von Bock's army? Whoever wants to name it, please issue your suggestion, and we can definitely consider it. Man, our guys have so much. This is not a good example. Let me take a look at Rommel. They have so much experience here from the wars. Just look at this. I mean, incredible what these guys have been through, and without losing too many men, all things considered. Thank you very much for joining up. Welcome to the channel. All right, we got the Institute of Germanic History. And an archaeology mission to Scandinavia. So I'm sure a lot of you guys know about this. There's always that occult obsession with the Germans finding their heritage, their Aryan, quote-unquote, heritage. And that's exactly what this is. So this will research only Germanic sites. And since the Swedes are our friends, they'll allow that. So let's go ahead and do that. And then we'll focus on experimental research, which I believe could lead to us unlocking the nuclear bomb or something equally as deadly. So that's going to be interesting. The world should tremble if they don't destroy us quickly. I don't like, though, having the Hamburg commune north of us. We basically have a communist state directly to the north, and that's not something I like. Go to Bock's army. Very high popularity. Yep, the civilian support is dramatic. What does this mean, Ahenerb? I like that. We could do that, Scooby. That'll make like we already have 2 miniature states. I'm not even sure what the point is, but at least they have their own thing going on. Ahenerb. I'll try. All right. Make it the Ahenerb Army. Actually, it's R with 2 E's, right? If we're writing in German, so Armee. All right, guys. So another target of ours, but again, I want to try and keep peace with the French if I can. I was going to say another target of ours is this area right here, this sickening place known as the Confederation of the Rhine. They've taken some actual areas here, like, of course, the Rhineland here to the north, and they've turned this into a sort of puppet state in between France and Germany to avoid war, and unfortunately, we have to allow it to exist. They've got Essen, they've got Köln. These are 2 huge German cities. You know, it's just not something that we wished for, but we've got to accept it for now, because I'm much more concerned with the socialists over here to the east than I am with the market liberals to the west. That being said, both could be totally deadly to our Volkreich. Yeah, I thought there was something weird there for a second. So now Rommel is also under command of Army Group 1 led by Guderian. Eric Blair, Tides of Revolution. The British writer known as Eric Blair has released The Tides of Revolution. Earlier today, Eric Blair, you guys know who he is. You know who he is? Let's see if anybody knows who Eric Blair is. What's his writing name? Put it down below. I'm not going to let you look. Interesting. So I'm just reading this. I'm not going to read this entire thing. There's no way. But let's see what happens due to his book. See if anything changes in the UK. I don't think it will. No, the king is overwhelmingly in power, and the Labour Party is 88% of the government. I just don't see anything occurring there. Okay, we did another recent arms sale to the Republic of Luxembourg. What? What? Look at this. It still exists. It's led by Pierre Dupont. It's just that tiny area. My goodness, that's right, Napoleon. Good job. Hey, I'm surprised you knew that, Napoleon. Well done. Well done, son. So pretty epic. He could eventually cause a revolution here in the UK, and I'm sorry to my Irish friends. Ireland has been conquered by the UK. So King Edward completely reconquered Ireland and essentially reestablished the entire United Kingdom. Let's see what the Hungarian occupation forces have to work with. Nicolae Radescu. They don't even have any Valkism power. All right, guys, look at all those green dots. So these green dots denote like large and medium-sized cities. We have so many cities, guys. It's just unbelievable. I think we're off to an amazing start. March 1939. Of course, I think the future difficulties for us are going to be dealing with the Soviets. Because in time we will have to go to war with them. And actually even Hitler knew. This is another reason why the whole Hitler shouldn't have attacked the Soviet Union thing is not necessarily true. Hitler knew that eventually he would have to go to war with the Soviet Union. He just, I guess he timed it wrong, but then again, had he waited, the Soviets would have had a lot of time to rebuild their army, especially after the purges. I don't necessarily think that it would have mattered. A lot of people argue that it wouldn't have mattered. Let's see how this mission to Scandinavia goes, though. Okay, German archaeologists head off to Scandinavia. Best of luck. So it gave us some political power. And we were going to start with the experimental research. In fact, I'm going to absorb private sectors. So I'm going to start messing with the economy here and actually becoming a bit more collectivist. But we'll do that later. In fact, maybe we should do a little anti-collectivist propaganda now. Piss off the Soviets a little bit. And we'll also ban political organization and force oaths of loyalty, something that I think is very important, especially with all this land we've taken. So we are going to get rid of the Communist Party. They will have no power. I mean, they have no power in our country right now. But they have a small amount of seats in the what's it called? The Reich, Reichskugler. No, it's the Reich Council, the Reich High Council, we'll call it. But it's just it's basically a fake. It's a fake representation of their party. They do have some members, but they have no real power. And we're kind of allowing them to do that. That's another difference between us and the Nazi Party is, as you can see here, we've allowed every party to exist. They don't actually have any power, but we do allow them to exist, of course, with extremely harsh, overwatch on them. So, the Mexican state declared war on the United States of America. Why in the world would they do that? That's going to be an interesting war. And it's led by Huey Long, who's a known racist. Good old Huey. He's not a very nice guy, if you weren't white. Huey Long was not the nicest guy in the world. And he could have potentially been president. Okay, guys, I want to thank everybody for stopping by. It's been so fun to have you here. Hey, Twitch Lion. Good to see you, man. And Herr Barval. Don't forget to subscribe here, guys, if you guys are new, and subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking that Civil War picture. That'll take you to our YouTube channel where I will upload this entire stream in 15 to 20-minute parts. So if you've missed anything, you can always go take a look there to watch. But I want to thank all you guys, especially you new guys. I'm really glad to see 18 people here in the stream, and we'll definitely be doing some more FuhreReich tomorrow to continue this campaign. We also want to try and finish it before they do an update, which I'm sure is coming pretty soon. Thank you again, guys. Take care, and it was a pleasure meeting you guys, and great to see you older folks here. Cheers, mates. We'll actually also drop our Discord server. If somebody could drop our Discord server link down below, please do. I'm going to have to open up Discord to look for it.